Residents in the Rogue Valley are reporting postal delays. Thank you for choosing Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jerry Howard. They say this is affecting local businesses and residents. And Newswatch 12's Rocky Walker is investigating the mail delays, which were singled out specifically for Medford Postal Service this month by a U.S. Senator. Rocky, you spoke to members of the community today who expressed their concerns. What were those conversations like?
Well, Jerry, like you said, I spoke with a couple of members of the community today, and a few of them expressed concerns, saying that these mail delays could affect and worry for this upcoming election, and that's why they're urging other citizens to vote early. But I also spoke with a local business owner today, and he says that mail delays, that they're affecting his business. The owner of a local locksmith company, he says delays are pushing his services that should be done in 1 to 2 days to taking upwards of a week to get handled. He says this is putting strain on his customers, but also on his business, fearing people will turn away from his business or he will have to spend more on commercial shipping to make sure his services don't face delays.
People are hurting right now because of the economy. Things are more expensive. It's harder to get by. And so then when you add delays on potentially critical services, businesses are struggling and consumers are really struggling.
He says using commercial services are just band-aids that are actually harming businesses as well. He says some sort of change needs to happen in the delivery system to stop affecting businesses, allowing them to supply critical services that they need to in the community. And this isn't just affecting packages that are coming in, but it's also affecting people sending mail out in the big blue boxes like this one. People are sending out letters such as this one. They're putting it in the blue boxes, and they fear that the letters that they're sending out will stay in these boxes and go in between different centers for USPS and not get to the location that they need to in time. And that is why a lot of people are fearful for the election. They're fearful that the same thing will be happening with their mail-in ballots. This concern has sent many residents canvassing, pushing people to rather vote in a ballot box at the elections office or through mail much earlier than election day.
Finish the process by getting your vote in early enough so that it can be counted and there isn't any question about, it's being a valid vote.
Lots of this comes from the fear that your mail-in ballot won't get postmarked until a later date than when you put it in the big blue USPS box. I reached out to USPS representatives, and one of them told me that you need to put it in the blue box a day beforehand to make sure they're postmarked correctly. Residents say you ought to heed that advice, and if you can, even send them in sooner.
Vote ought to count. And I know there are people who rely on the post office to send because they can't get anywhere else. So it's really, really important. Send them in now. You've had them for a week. Send them in now.
I reached out to USPS for more answers. They had me on hold for about 30 to 40 minutes actually. But like I said, that USPS representative that I spoke with, he said that you need to send them into the blue mailboxes about a day or so beforehand. But I also spoke with the Oregon representative for USPS, and she said that these big blue mailboxes, that they go to central offices that there are none of in Medford. But the other representative I spoke with said that they get postmarked in the local offices. So this, difference within what they're saying, can make a lot of people pretty wary for exactly what's happening with the election and their mail-in ballots. But like those advocates for early voting say, if you vote today, you don't have to worry about that. Live in Medford, Rocky Walker, Newswatch 12.